Hello, I'm Robbie James and this is UCAS Street View, and today we're heading around the UK to universities and colleges asking students all about preparing for the next step of your journey. So what research do you need to do? How do you filter down your choices? And much, much more. Lots of questions, let's get some answers. Joining us from the studio, we have a UCAS expert, a recent graduate, and an admissions expert. Take you back to when you were starting out looking at universities and courses. Martha, we'll start with you. Where did you look to kind of try and work out where you wanted to go to uni?
Definitely mostly UCAS. UCAS provided loads of information for my course and the cities.
You can sort of filter through what subjects unis have got, entry requirements and stuff like that.
Going on online forums.
I was kind of like asking around it because my brother and my sister both went to uni as well, seeing their opinions on like what the unis were like.
And did you go to any like open days or UCAS events, anything like that?
Yeah, I came to the open day for here and another uni as well, which really helped me like decide fully that I wanted a city uni instead of a campus.
Annabelle, did you go to any UCAS events?
Yeah, I went to, I think it was 1 or 2. It was really nice to sort of actually talk to the people that go there. And it always helps because when you get a little free bag or a free pen.
And did you like go to any open days or anything like that when you were trying to pick?
I wish I had, but I didn't. I tried to come to one, but I was late.
What was the important things that you were looking for?
Somewhere that felt homely. This is going to sound so bad, but mainly the accommodation, because I wanted to live somewhere that was nice.
The general vibe of the uni, if I can see myself there for the next few years, if people are nice. Teachers as well, that's important.
And so was it a case of talking to a lot of people, or was it more actually the visual element?
Both. You have to talk to people to get a rough idea of what the place is about, but it's also the way it's presented.
I did like a tour of the building. I had like practice lectures and stuff like that.
What kind of questions are you asking?
Things like what sort of coursework and stuff like that do we have to do? What's the exam content like? What's the structure of your weeks looking like? Stuff like that, because I think that's quite important to see if it's like a manageable workload.
I didn't ask many questions, to be honest. Most of them were answered online.
What was the feel of the university like? What was the feel of the city like? What help and support I could get on the course?
And what advice would you give to a younger Ronan starting out looking at universities or courses?
Diversify my choices more. I really focused a lot on London. I'm happy I ended up in Cardiff. When I decided I didn't want to go to London anymore, I hadn't been to many other open days around the country, so it like limited my options.
You go to the open days, check what's going on. It'll just give yourself a peace of mind, you know, knowing where you can go and who you can talk to. You don't want to be oblivious to everyone around you and stuff like that.
Look further in advance. Changed my mind quite a lot on what course I wanted to do. So yeah, I left it a bit late, and most of my open days were the offer holder days rather than looking at them before I came.
Speak with your teachers that are going to be teaching your course. Speak and socialise with people who may be doing the course with you. And you need to make sure that that is an environment that you feel comfortable, safe in, and that you actually like.
Research done. Good job. But now you've spoken to the universities, how do you go about whittling it down to up to 5 choices? I'm guessing the answer isn't eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Oscar, how many choices did you end up putting down?
4 or 5.
5. I put down 5.
I only put down 3.
4, I think. I only applied for Oxford.
I did 5. I like filled up all the gaps just in case. But 2 of them were for Cardiff, just different courses.
How did you go about narrowing it down?
Just went to all the open days. I went to 4 open days on my 5. When I visited here, I just knew to walk around the facilities and thought, yeah, I like this.
The course is obviously a big part of it, but you know, you want to make sure that you're happy where you're living. You're here for 3 years, so that for me that was what it was.
Did you seek advice from people when it came to trying to narrow them down, trying to decide?
My mum helped out quite a lot, yeah.
Ask your friends, family, whoever went to uni, see what their life is like in a different uni.
Is there anything now looking back you wish you'd done more of?
Socialise before I came here. I did quite a bit of socialising, but a little bit more would have been more helpful.
Well, so actually meeting people before you came?
We had lots of group chats. Really good to do that. Helps you.
Make sure that you have a fallback on top of your other fallbacks just in case.
Go to every uni and like look at every uni with a very open mind, because like I didn't know I would love Cardiff as much as I did.
So you've picked your unis and now you've been offered an interview. But what do you need to do to prepare? Well, let's find out.
So George, you had an interview for your course as a medicine student, right?
Yeah. So I had 4 interviews, luckily got 4 offers. which was really, really good. But they were a bit nerve-wracking, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, so what did you do to kind of combat those nerves?
I feel like it's always helpful to have things that you do pre-interview, like when you're practicing, that you just do in your interview, because it sometimes helps you remember that this is what you've done before. So I think I did is I would like drink water, then walk up and down. This may sound really weird, but anyways, walk up and down, and it just put me in a nice rhythm. But also I remembered that they are more interested in like me and myself, and so being my authentic self without the nerves was actually what was gonna get me those offers.
Did you do any like preparation for any of the questions specifically?
Yeah, so I did. So I like noted down what are the like top questions that this university are interested in. That actually revealed to me the best strategy, which is I think getting other people to interview you but not telling you what questions they're gonna ask. Because really the interview skills, being able to respond in time, in the moment to unpredictable questions. And so if you kind of have a robotic answer, they're not really getting that much personality from you.
I think it's important to remember in those interviews as well that the university isn't looking to trip you up. Most universities will help prepare you with some top tips or some guidance on their websites before the interviews as well. And I think it's important to remember that whilst you can be nervous when coming up to an interview, you have to remember it's a two-way interview. It's not just the university interviewing you, it's also you finding out information about them, if they're the right university, if it's the right course for you as well.
Did you take your personal statement to your interview? Did they talk about that?
Yeah, so I kind of had to, because you really write your personal statement in kind of the summer period. And my last interview was like early February. And to remember the exact content is a bit difficult. And so it's really, really great to refresh your memory, because in all of my interviews, they refers to it in some sort of way. It also reminded me of what they don't know about me yet. So it gave me an opportunity to say more things and add, rather than simply repeat the things they may already know.
From the university side of things, what do universities look for with a personal statement?
It's about getting that real demonstration from the student that they want to study this course. It is that, not just, oh, I'm picking this subject out of all these other hundreds of subjects. This is my desire. I've got interest, I've got knowledge, I've got questions that I want to explore. And that's what I really find quite nice in personal statements.
Do you feel like there's any difference between international students applying and their personal statements, or do you look for the same things?
I think I would say we look for the same things. The only difference that might come across is maybe why an international student wants to study here in the UK. But at the end of the day, definitely still the underlying is why this course and why them studying this course. So George, you mentioned earlier that you got all of your interview offers back, so that's really great. But how did you then kind of narrow down to that firm and insurance choice? How did you make those decisions?
I thought about things all the way from my feel from the interview. Do I like the city? Things like cost of living, which you have to think about in this climate. Do they have the societies I would be interested in? I also talked to people who were at the university. I joined a few networks that enabled you to talk to people that were on the course further. I think UCAS have something similar to that, do they?
Yeah, there's an online chat that you can do on the website to be able to speak to current students.
Exactly, and that's like super useful. And then I put my firm and insurance. Initially, it did feel a bit final. And so I've always wondered whether I could change it later. What, like, is that possible?
Yeah, so it is possible to change any of your replies. If you contact us within 14 days of adding your firm and your insurance choice, we're able to do it for you. After that, depending on when you are in the cycle, it can be possible, but it might depend on getting permission from the universities to be able to do it as well. But if you are having doubts and you're looking to change, then obviously it's better to just get in contact with us and then we can tell you what your options would be.
So sometimes students are unsuccessful. So how do UCAS suggest that they kind of go forward and think about those next plans for them?
I think at the end of the day, it's important to remember that there are always options. So if you're unsuccessful from your first 5 choices, from the 28th of February, UCAS Extra opens. And Extra is literally what it says on the tin. It's an extra choice on your application. It's the 6th choice that you're able to then apply to other courses. And you can use that extra choice as many times as you need if you're looking to find a different course and get an offer for somewhere that's right for you. If Extra doesn't work out or you don't find an offer that you like, then you can always apply through Clearing later in the year. We do have a lot of videos and information on the ucas.com website explaining Extra and Clearing. If anyone's needing any help with them, they can check them out there.
Now, it's an exciting time preparing for the next step of your journey, but there are lots of new experiences and lots of new things to think about. So whatever it is you're doing next and wherever it is you think you're heading, make sure to head to ucas.com. We've got you covered.